Good afternoon to you. Mark Sudduth, HurricaneTrack here. Sunday now, the 10th of August, 2025. I've got the latest for you regarding Invest Area 97L. The big question, how far west will this track? And we need to take a look at something that has formed off the west coast of Florida. A little system there we do need to watch over the next few days. And then at the end of today's update, a very interesting look at the potential use of AI models. Wait till you see this, especially how I compare it to the last couple of tabs up there. You'll see really interesting. It's going to be a big test here of some of this new technology now in the world of AI. Well, let's get started first in the world that we know already that works pretty well, and that's the National Hurricane Center. It all starts here, doesn't it? The home page here, this is the latest update, 90% over the next 7 days, 50% over the next 48 hours, that our invest area will develop into our next depression, storm, and probably hurricane. And when and if it does all of those things, the name will be Aaron with an E. Here's what it looks like on the visible, true color satellite imagery this afternoon. Again, a few areas to point out. There's 97L. Let's get the stroke line a little larger, shall we? Yes, we shall. There it is. You can see that a lot better. There's 96L. Don't even worry about that. This, though, a curious little feature that has popped up off the coast of Florida in the Gulf. And boy, it has dumped a lot of rain on parts of Lee County. Sanibel, Captiva, drenched 8 to 10, 11 inches plus. Wow. By the way, this is what it all looks like on the TAF-B, Tropical Analysis and Forecast branch down at the National Hurricane Center. I really like how they do this. The annotations, there's the tropical wave there. There's another one. This is your line of equal pressure, what we call an isobar, and it outlines the monsoon trough through here. We call this annotating the map. So these annotations that are put on the animation, really, really cool. I just wish it was a larger resolution. Maybe I can text some people I know down there and ask them to beef it up a little bit, because I really, really do like this feature. Now, before we look at 97L, I do want to focus on this interesting feature, again, that popped up off the southwest coast of Florida. Our friend Tyler here talking about it this morning. Visible satellite shows a notable increase to the low-level inflow, that's the air that's going into the system, within an MCV, not to be confused with an MCU, which is what, Marvel Comic Universe? Nope, this is the mesoscale convective vortex, and it is sitting down off the coast of Florida. Fancy way of saying kind of a large thunderstorm that's rotating, not to be confused with a mesocyclone that's within a supercell that produces tornadoes from time to time. This is a complex of thunderstorms that does have a little bit of rotation with it, kind of a small feature overall, and a little surface trough sitting down there. So we'll watch this. It's over very warm water. In fact, I have a satellite loop, a larger image of it, off the Weather Nerd site, and you can see all those yellow specks in there that come up from time to time. That is lightning. So this has already produced, like I said, a copious amount of rainfall in parts of Lee County. Now it's out over the southeastern Gulf, and we have to watch this closely. Yeah, because it's got very warm water to work with, and you never know. These little systems can get sneaky and kind of form right under your nose. Was it 2017 we had Erica that did just that? There was like a stalled frontal boundary or something through here, and it came together like right through here over the course of just a few hours, if I remember that correctly. So we'll watch this, not too worried about it, but it is there. It is hurricane season. It does have plenty of warm water, and we have boating interest around the area, so keep an eye on it. Just want you to be aware. All right, so to our system we go. 97L, a lot of people focusing on this, and rightfully so. It's got a lot of attention that has been on it because of the availability and our capability of looking at computer models well beyond the 5-day time frame. And so people see something, we talked about this yesterday, 300 hours out, thousands of miles away, and they maybe panic, maybe they don't know what they're looking at, so forth and so on. Truth is, it's out there, so we have to deal with it and try to explain it as best we can. So what I like to do is just approach it, like I said yesterday, from a what we know versus what we don't know kind of deal, and we go from there. So today, similar to yesterday, what we know, we use blue here, There's our feature on the map. This is the 5,000 foot level, 850 millibars in the atmosphere. One of my favorite layers to look at, as I've said many, many times. And this gives me an idea of the framework. And so there's our vorticity center sitting right in here. Larger envelope of energy sitting out here. That little tail that I showed you on satellite. That's what it looks like in the model. Let's go real quick back to satellite. Look at how it all lines up. There's all that energy in the real world captured on satellite here and then represented pretty darn well in the modeling here from the old GFS. This is, by the way, the 12Z run, and again that 850 millibar level of the global forecast system, the main US operational model. So let's move this out to 4 days. That's a good stopping point for now. At the 5,000 foot level, I notice pretty good ridge sitting in here, ridge of high pressure. Not so much out here, definitely not so much over here. And let's use red up here. Oh, let's use green. That'll contrast pretty good. What we don't see, as you know, to sort of compare this, we don't see this ridge looking like that, for example. And that would help keep this pretty much on a westerly track. That is not the case, obviously. But for now, it does stay on a general westward track out to day 4. Let's see if I got that right. Hey, that's pretty darn good. And no, I didn't do this before. I nailed it. Anyway, proud of myself, aren't I? Let's look at the next couple of days beyond this time frame. You notice the starting point there. Then it starts to move more to the northwest by day 5, by day 6, more northerly, and by day 7, it is well on its way, pretty much near 60 degrees longitude, really close to it. Bermuda, for reference, is right there. Had to move some of that vorticity out of the way, which, by the way, this is an important player, believe it or not. So let's go back to 96 hours, because I want to show you something else in this model. Let's look at the height anomaly at 500 millibars. We're getting up there about 18, 20,000 feet, something like that. And this shows us our big mountain of air sitting in here. It's a little stronger than normal. So that's what's helping to keep our system going on that westward track fairly early on. But as we move this out to that all-important 168 mark, a week out, look what happens. We've developed a weakness over here. The ridge is strong to the east overall, not much to the north and over the top of the system. And so the natural progression is it goes up and out into the Atlantic, curving there at around 60 degrees longitude. This is interesting because it can also be plotted. This is a great post. I like this from Ryan Maui. He says the weather model updates for 12Z, 12 Zulu time, rolling off the supercomputers, all kinds of models out there from the GFS, the Euro, the Canadian, bunches of them, even the AI models, which we're going to get to in just a minute. The 12Z GFS takes Invest 97L due north prior to reaching 60 degrees west longitude through 7 days. And so we can see what I just showed you plotted. I love that these are available on a map. And we can also see the intensity, weak, stronger, strongest at about day 8, 7 or 8, whatever. You can extrapolate it out. There's Bermuda, Nova Scotia, Boston sitting up here, Cape Hatteras, Miami. You get it? Way, way far east of North America. Now, that being said, let me show you this. This is the AI model. Also, the 12Z run on the 10th. I had to verify that. All right. Yep, it's the 10th of August. This is the European Center AI, Artificial Intelligence Forecast System. Now, let me just preface this. We've all heard over the years that the Euro is king. People say it a lot of times, often in the weather world, different chats and Twitter and message boards. King Euro. The Euro seems to have the best overall physics and everything under control and the scores and all that they keep up with. To verify all of this, usually the Euro operational, the ECMWF, the actual computer model that's programmed and not using AI, that's usually the best from what we've heard, right? So that being said, we're in the world now, 2025, of AI-generated computer images, music, video, you name it, you've seen it. It is wild and wacky stuff. Now we are applying this new technology to weather. So let's see what the old Euro AI shows you. And you're not going to believe this. There's our feature right there. This is the starting point, 12Z. And let's just run this all the way out, just like I did, but a little further into time with our system. Now, it doesn't show the details like we get on the GFS, but that's fine. You see it down there. There it is. That's what I want you to focus on right there. As we move out in time, look where this ends up. All right? So this is important to me because that is, well, beyond the obvious, a huge, huge difference. This is 264. Let's grab the GFS over here, get it to the 850 level, and put this at 264. And I mean, come on. All right, so there is would-be Aaron at hour 264 on the GFS, and there is would-be Aaron at hour 264 on the brand new AI-generated ECMWF version, right? Wow, that is a huge, huge spread between a known global model that uses, I don't really totally understand how the AI stuff works, to be honest with you. It is so new that I don't really have much explanation for it. I've heard a few presentations at different conferences, but I don't fully grasp all that it gets, input into it and so forth. But it has been really consistent, the AI, in keeping the would-be hurricane fairly far to the west. I can prove it to you. This is the 6Z run. This is the 0Z run last night. This is yesterday's 18Z run. This is the 12Z yesterday. You get it? It's like west, 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 going back as far as Friday. I mean, it's just been right on, that sort of kick of keeping this thing farther to the west. The reason, it's pretty clear, it's showing a lot more ridging over the western Atlantic. So, this brings me to my conclusion here, which is very obvious. This is going to be a huge test with the older, reliable, hand-coded. Again, I know more about how the global models work, the regular ones that have been around a while, versus this new artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, whatever you call it. Google's got one. I think the Euro, with their AI. Man, there's probably even others. It's just moving so fast, it's hard to keep up with it. So do I think that this will verify? I do not. Most of the reliable global models, the UK Met, the Canadian, the GFS, and the European operational, the regular one, it's confusing, keep this thing pretty far to the east. So here's another way to look at it. If this were to verify, that means, and this is a huge statement here, if this were to verify, it would mean that all of the regular global models were wrong at about 10 days out. And 10 days in big puzzle pieces of the atmosphere is not really a long time. Individual mesoscale synoptic features like a hurricane, that's a little different. Pinpointing where one is going to be in 10 days. Yes, the aeroscales are going to be much larger, but the bigger puzzle pieces, less so. So boy, oh boy, if the Euro AI comes close to some scenario not like this, not necessarily Charleston, but you get it where it's like past 75 longitude, that means that all of the global models got their butts kicked by this new AI, brave new world that we are in. So we shall see. It's going to be interesting to say the least. So let's do it again tomorrow and see what the AI is saying versus the rest. Maybe tomorrow's headline will be AI versus, I don't know, what do you call it, regular? We'll come up with something. I try not to be too hyperbolic and keep it real and just talk about what we know and what we don't know. So in this situation, we really don't know if the AI model is going to whiff big time or the regular global models are going to continue to do what they've done for years and years and years, and that is to keep a pretty good handle on things. I guess we'll all find out together. With that, I'll bid you farewell for this fine Sunday. Have a great rest of your afternoon. I am Mark Suttle from all of us at HurricaneTrack. I'll see you again tomorrow.